Back up! Get on the ground!
You know, cops are always there for people. They've never, ever done anything to terrorize a community. Yeah, I completely understand that they'll come and help you. It's okay because the police helped you.
Students and citizens hugged the police, shook their hands, they cried with them, and thanked them for their tireless and dangerous work protecting the people of Boston from a threat that had violated their safety in every conceivable way. The atmosphere was one...
They violated their safety in every conceivable way. Black people never had to go through that because, you know, slavery didn't happen. I didn't show any pictures of it, didn't talk about it. They were never violated, you know? And just with the girl, being shot at point blank range after being groped and hit in the legs while standing perfectly still while your white friend asks, why her? Why her? After she got groped, perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine because that wasn't being violated in every conceivable way. She wasn't violated sexually. She wasn't violated physically. She wasn't violated emotionally or mentally, psychologically. No. That's just how they say hello.
One of relief, celebration, and appreciation, and I will never, ever forget that night or the rush of emotion I felt. When you call for the police to be abolished or to be killed, when you attack them indiscriminately and burn their vehicles, surround them and pelt them with bricks, you
poor police. Like, first of all, you want to say that they're being
killed. When you attack them indiscriminately and burn their vehicles, surround them and pelt them with
them. You do realize that they're shooting the peaceful protesters first with rubber bullets. And you're going to rewrite the protests with target as if the police weren't shooting them first and sprayed them with tear gas before they started getting violent. Like, really? You seriously want to say that right now? It's clear which one happened first. It always goes down like that. The cops start shooting you first. They spray you with mace first. They sick dogs on you first. They use water hoses on you first. They beat you with clubs first. They shoot you and kill you first. And then when you defend yourself, you're just a bunch of monkeys. Like, damn.
Bricks. You are calling for the destruction of not just those instances where you perceive wrong to have been done. You are attempting to...
Where you perceived wrong to have been done. It's just your perceivance of it. You get groped and then beaten to the ground. That's your perceivance of it being wrong. 2,000 cops come in and beat the shit out of peaceful protesters who did no violence. No, you just perceived it that way. It's subjective.
To destroy all of it. You are losing the protection from terrorist threats. You are losing every single...
From terrorist threats, even though most terrorists in America are American and white.
Good thing they do and ever will do. And as much as people in their blind emotional rage want to deny it and call them...
Your rage, again, is emotional, it's blind, it's just... It's not like my video is emotional and blind because I'm speaking with a calm tone. I'm not projecting at all. Since I have a calm tone, my perception of this perspective of this topic is very calm and rational. But because you're angry, that means that what you're doing is not calm and rational because the tone that you have when you do something completely dictates the execution. And if you're calm, you're by definition logical. If you're angry, your arguments are illogical. Yeah, okay, because that makes sense.
All criminals, that loss will hurt more than it helps. Destroying the company...
It hurts more than it helps because I said so.
...means destroying the employment prospects. Destroying the businesses of your neighbors means destroying the livelihood of people who suffer the same wrongs right alongside...
What people suffered the same fucking wrongs? White people? What are you talking about? Cops? They suffered the same wrongs? Amazon? Who suffered the same fucking wrong as the protesters? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? And I thought that you said that nothing happened to them worth protesting over. I thought that you said that they antagonized the police. So, did people suffer from police brutality or not? What are you talking about? Why do you keep contradicting yourself, motherfucker?
Beside you, because you are so deluded and angry, seeking to
You are so deluded and angry. I'm not gaslighting at all.
Express your pain, that you take out that anger on innocent citizens who only seek to be there with you.
Innocent citizens who seem to be there with you as I'm telling you not to do the thing that you're doing, but I'm with you. Gaslighting again.
The same things that you do. America has a deceptive relationship with the word revolution because our nation was formed when a revolution cut the ties to a foreign and unnecessary...
The only reason why there's an actual decent picture of a black person there is because he couldn't fucking control it. If he was able to switch out that picture, he would have showed like a fucking black person drinking some Hennessy or something.
Necessary occupier. Today, there is no foreign and unnecessary occupier. So
Yeah, because again, Native Americans don't have their own separate land. That's not a thing, with their own laws and how I can't even get into it. Like, there's so much shit that Native Americans still have to deal with to this day. Like, there's Americans who, pedophiles who go in and steal their children, and they can't investigate it because their laws are that they can't investigate crimes they would have to prove that someone from outside of their reservation kidnapped the kids, but they can't prove it because they can't investigate things outside of their reservation. You get the conundrum that they're put in. So basically, Americans are like, we can steal your children, and pedophiles can steal your children, and it's perfectly fine, and you can't do anything about it. Like, so yes, that's a foreign occupier. If you don't think that Native Americans are being occupied by a foreign force, like, you're not objective. And if you actually think that blacks and whites have the same rights in this country, and that the rich and the poor are treated the same, then you don't know what you're talking about either. And if you really want to sit here and say that, the people who settled in America were always foreign to their country, how are you going to say that, the founding fathers were foreigners to their country just because they tried to say that they were separate? But you can't say Native Americans are, and you can't say that black people are, even though black people were forced to live in this country and forced to be slaves in this country. That counts as a foreign occupation because you're an indentured servant to a country that you never willingly accepted to live in. And you have no choice but to live here because you can't go back to Africa. You don't have no fucking family no more because you were a slave here for 500 years. So yeah, I think that counts as, as foreigners in a sense. On a technical sense, yeah. Since you're going to be technical about the founding fathers, you got to be technical about black and Native Americans. And so it says, Kay Bala is the Minnesota firefighter and entrepreneur. Because he's just showing one cherry-picked part of the sentence. I want to see what he's pointing at. He says, an entrepreneur whose sports bar Scores has destroyed and burned down during the riots in the aftermath of the death of George Floyd. And then he says, while highlighting it,
necessary occupier. Today, there is no foreign and unnecessary occupier.
So he's saying that basically he's like, this revolution is wrong because this was your city. This was your target. And it's like, but a foreign occupier, like, they take control of your area. Like, how do you not get that? Just because you live in the same city as the foreign occupier doesn't mean that there isn't one. If they force you to be a servant to them and they are ruining your lives, making you drink poison fucking water, I think it's okay if you want to overthrow that government. Why is he pointing to this? This is so unrelated.
Some of us may view certain services or businesses to be individually unnecessary, but the fundamental framework of our nation, food, water, fuel, shipping, emergency services such as
are things that we could still have without this corrupt system. We would just have to change that system.
Firefighters, medics. These are services that are necessary because without them, most communities simply...
You're not teaching anyone anything new. Like, how insulting is it for you to insinuate that black people don't understand that food is necessary? Black people don't understand that water is necessary. Medics. Hey, guess what? Again, the average American can't afford a $400 emergency bill. When people get hit by a car or shot, they tell people not to call an ambulance because they can't afford the ride to the hospital. Why? Why is that so sad? Because medics are necessary, yet that fucking industry is so goddamn expensive because of how things are in America. People avoid going to the doctor when they're sick. People avoid going to the hospital when they have serious health issues. People avoid going to the dentist when they really need to, fix their teeth, or they might actually get some sort of gum disease or something. Like things that could actually become fatal. It's because it's too expensive, because people aren't insured in America. That's another reason why people don't want to come to this country, even though at the beginning of your stupid video, you're saying that people want to come to America and have a life here. No, the fuck they don't. You need to talk to more foreigners who actually have come here and left and ask why. And again, the statistics are against you. People were coming in at a net negative. So for you to be sitting here saying this stuff's necessary, food is necessary, and yet we can't have proper food. Water is necessary, and yet we can't have proper water. Medical attention is necessary. We can't fucking have it properly. Policing systems are necessary, and yet it isn't being executed properly. The same thing with the fire system. Did you hear what the fuck they did to Detroit? At Detroit, the fire houses, they were so underfunded that their alarm systems didn't work anymore. So they had to put nails and coins in soda cans, empty soda cans, and sit it on top of a fax machine. So they get faxed when there's a fire and the soda can falls off of the fax, and then they go get in the truck and fight the fucking fire. Isn't that some sad ass shit? You get so fucking underfunded in a city that's, still doing gentrification to this day, that's what your firehouses have to resort to, because having firefighters is necessary, but the problem is they're not being taken care of properly in this corrupt system. You keep saying this stuff is necessary as if black people don't care about this shit. You keep acting like they just want a lawless society where they can just like jump on a fucking rooftop. Like, you just keep acting like they're fucking wild animals like a bunch of other fucking racists do. You keep saying they're blinded by rage. They're, it's an illogical stance. They're not thinking it through. They're just acting on emotion as if they're fucking wild animals when they're not. They already thought about this shit. It is important. That's why they're mad. They're not getting things that are necessary to survive. And you don't understand that because you have that shit. So it doesn't fucking matter to you if other people don't have it. You have it, so you don't want the system that's working comfortably for you to be ruined and possibly replaced with something worse for you. Something that could work for everyone might not be as luxurious for you, so you don't want people to do shit about it. You selfish, apathetic asshole.
Cannot exist. It may sound like a straw man, an argument made in bad faith, but the reality is rioters are now blocking fire trucks from fighting fires deliberately set in occupied buildings and homes. The rhetoric has become one of revolution on social media, and I sincerely ask everyone to understand why it is wrong, why it is dangerous, and why it needs to end. The riots of 2020 are not comparable in any legitimate way to the American Revolution. America has problems. It has issues, and those issues very much need to be addressed. These protests, and these are two very separate and distinct words.
I'm not going to say how it needs to be addressed. I'm just going to say it has issues that need to be addressed. But I'm going to tell you how not to do it, even though I have no solutions, because the truth is the solution that you have is the solution. But it's negative, so I don't like it, and even though I can't think of one, I'm still going to think that I'm right about this.
Riots versus protests. These protests have a message, they have a goal, and they can have a positive impact. But the riots, they have no goal.
Riots are not protests. Riots have no goal. Riots is just illogical. Always. There's no logic behind it. No goal. If it's violent, nope. When the police do it, it's fine. Justified. Protesters are violent in response to brutality. No, they're not defending. There's no such thing as defending yourself. That's not a thing.
Have no message, and defending them at all in any capacity by somehow drawing parallels to the enigmatically successful revolution that formed our very country. It is intellectual dishonesty which cannot be supported.
Back to the fucking white people. Okay, I was laughing because of something else. But then he goes back to the paintings, not even pictures, because they should be black people. Back to the fucking white people. First of all, motherfucker, most inventions are from black people. So that's another reason why they're fucking mad. Because things that they've pretty much invented and created are being used by white people to destroy them. So let's just cover that. But aside from that, I love how he's like, this may sound like a straw man, because it is a straw man. He just lampshaded just so that he just lampshaded straw manning so that he could go on straw man. So we'll listen to what he said again just so you can hear it.
Have no message, and defending them can have a positive impact. But the riots, they have no goal.
He doesn't explain why riots have no goal. He just says that they don't. Because I say so, they have no goal. Because I say so, they have no message. So he gives no actual objective reason to say it.
They have no message, and defending them at all in any capacity by somehow drawing parallels to the enigmatically successful
parallels. So what he just basically said is, so if you say anything in response to all the retarded bullshit I said for 16 fucking minutes so far, you say a single fucking thing to defend the opposing argument, it is
revolution that formed our very country. It is intellectual dishonesty which cannot be supported.
It is intellectual dishonesty that just cannot be supported. I'm not going to say why, even though the reason is because you just disagree with me. If you defend the opposite opinion, it's just intellectual dishonesty to disagree with me.
For a revolution to be successful, especially when tearing down critical systems, far-reaching critical systems like food, water, fuel, and more, it must replace those systems with something else.
And that's what black people want to do. There are plenty of solutions that black people have given to police reform, especially Black Lives Matter. So it's even more insulting that you're saying that Black Lives Matter and protesters just want to kill all cops, that they just want to get rid of policing in general and just have a wild, wild west society, as if they haven't listed different things that they want for police reform. How the fuck do you think body cams even became a thing in the first place? as well as many other things. But again, that's a whole nother conversation within itself. Like, this is why I hate videos that just spread misinformation, because every 10 seconds to 30 seconds, it would take you like 20 minutes to fully debunk with like a lot of information and like sources and videos and text and facts. It takes like 20 minutes to debunk, like, because what he's doing is deliberate. This is deliberate misinformation. You can't get all this stuff wrong by accident. You can't accidentally show white people in these, you know, glorified ways, like the one white guy in the red coat who was just sacrificing himself with his arms in the air like fucking Jesus Christ in the war painting. But, you know, every single time you show a black person, it's with destruction. That's deliberate. It's deliberate. So it is sociopathic behavior, and more of an example of is the fact that you're saying that people need to replace this with something else, and you're gaslighting because they already have suggested things. It's so easy to tell people that they can't disagree with you when you set up a straw man. That's basically what he just did now. And you know, he's saying it may seem like a straw man, it may seem like that, but you are saying that all cops should die because I'm saying that's your argument, and I'm telling you you're wrong. You're saying that we should live in a lawless society with no police, no firefighters, no government. I'm saying that that's what you're saying, and then I'm going to tell you why you're wrong about it, because these things are necessary. So you need to come up with an actual solution to replace all this stuff with. You can't set up a fucking straw man for the other opinion and then tell people if they disagree with you they have that specific opinion, and so they're intellectually dishonest. It's projection. You're intellectually dishonest. Black people have given examples of police reform. They don't want to kill all cops. If there are any people who are black or white, because white people also want cops dead, it depends on the person. It's just an individualistic thought that some people might have. Most people who are protesting police brutality violently and peacefully want police reform. But the reason why people are being violent is because they're being killed. You're not being killed. They're being beaten. You're not being beaten. They're being arrested. You're not being arrested. Hell, let me show you guys this thing that I just saw on Twitter. As a result of all the violent protests, that he was saying were unnecessary. Before we get into the, you know, the good that came from those protests, at the beginning he talks about how he's been stopped. This guy doesn't have to deal with that in the YouTube video I'm responding to. This guy has.
And people like myself, I've told my story several times, stopped 7 times in 1 year. That has been said a lot, but I was stopped this year driving while black when I got a warning ticket for failing to use my turn signal earlier in my lane change. And so this issue continues, and that's why it's so important for us to say that we hear you. We're listening to your concerns. The George Floyd incident certainly accelerated this conversation, and we find ourselves at a place with a package.
Ooh, accelerated this conversation. Sounds like the opposite of what that guy was saying, while also not saying kill all cops. This guy isn't saying kill all cops, but he just said that those protests that you're so against accelerated the conversation. Put pressure on people to do something about it.
That I think speaks to the families that I spoke with yesterday who lost loved ones. We hear you. I think this package speaks very clearly to the young person who's concerned when he's stopped by the law enforcement officers. We see you.
So there's that, and I want to show you this too. Hey, so I just wanted to cut in real quick to explain something, but I really hate it when people gaslight. Like with this guy, he keeps making all of these claims that are just a lie. He's manipulating people, and he's like saying, well, there's people calling for death of all police, and it's like, what does that have to do with anything? Like, people call for all sorts of stuff in the world. You know, people believe that the earth is flat, so what does it mean for you to say that there's 1 or 2 people out there who are saying kill all cops, you know, stuff like that. Like, he's just blatantly lying to people, and these idiots are just soaking it up. And then he just makes the dumbest claim ever where he's like, oh, well, there's nothing good that comes from the riots. There's no purpose for them, and nothing good comes from it. And it's like, you don't even know what you're talking about. It's like he keeps making all these claims and he's not actually showing things, but then he wants to sit here and show people's opinion on the word revolution. You know what I mean? Like, why not take time to show this whole death to all cops stuff? But you're not going to, because you don't want to give any substance so that people can debunk you. So instead you just make the claim, you know, or like how he keeps omitting what group of people he's talking about when he's clearly talking about black people. These are most of the people who are objectively angry over the policing system in America, because the whole problem is that they're claiming that the policing system is racist. So you can't say that you're not talking about black people. So since he knows that he can't just straight up say it because it's just dumb, he just omits it, period. You know, he omits talking about Native Americans. He omits talking about, you know, slaves, because that way he can be like, well, who knows what I meant, you know, and try to worm his way out of something. And it's just obvious that you're commenting on how black people are responding. Who do you think was angry about George Floyd's death? Seriously, what race do you think, you know, in terms of the majority, were angry over that death? It's just common sense, you know what I mean? So the fact that people just allow him to manipulate them like that is so sad. But anyway, my whole point is there were a lot of changes that came from the George Floyd protest. I'm gonna link this page, but basically it's like talking about just like how 10 things changed, you know, like a little list, but there's a lot of stuff that's changed. You know, politicians are presenting bills like I just showed you with that guy in the video saying, we hear you, we see you. There's a lot of stuff that's changed, but just to give you a few more examples, you know, here it says global tributes and protests, like all over the country, like in all 50 states, people are doing demonstrations and stuff on a wider scale than ever before. You know, more statues are being taken down in the US and in the UK now because of everything with George Floyd. Companies are standing in solidarity with Black Lives Matter, and just like how I said Target was, there's more companies than just Target. Police officers are getting charged, which is a really rare thing. The people who were involved in his murder got charged, so that was a really big deal to get the ball rolling and changing the policing system. And police departments have been making changes. People have been donating to charities to help black people more now than they have been before, because it's just something that's being talked about a lot more now. And people are bailing out protesters, which is a big deal, because even though we have the right to protest on paper, the government doesn't respect that right at all. They use all these technicalities and legalities to say, no, but you're causing a disturbance. That's the whole point of protesting. Oh, but you're jaywalking. That's the point of protesting. You're supposed to get in the streets. You're supposed to get in the way and demonstrate. You're supposed to inconvenience people so they understand that there's something going on. But they use all these little technicalities because the people in charge don't want people to protest. So that's why protesting is on paper legal, but in reality, it's very illegal. So a lot more people are talking about everyday racism, you know, and people are talking about experiences that they had. And again, just like with that politician when he said that he's been stopped a lot this year. And, you know, these kind of conversations are coming up a lot more often so that people can understand. I'm also going to link a video that someone from my Discord actually sent me. Because of all the stuff that's going on now, they learned some things and they showed me a video that helped them to understand, you know, black people are going through a lot more. There's this thing called Blackout Tuesday where people are basically, you know, in a nutshell, it's just another form of demonstration, but online, to bring awareness to things that black people are going through. Even on Discord, like the guy who linked me a stupid video was on Discord, and it was so funny that he actually deleted me because I had him added and then this argument came up. He actually deleted me when the banner popped up on Discord saying that Black Lives Matter. It was so sad. Anyway, and you know, street names have changed. Like, let me scroll down and show you. So yeah, like there's street names that have changed. It says Black Lives Matter Plaza is now the name of the street in Washington, D.C. leading up the White House. You know, so it's a big deal. Like there's a lot of changes that are being made and people are making it clear that being racist isn't okay. And I want to make a slight side comment because, you know, a lot of people are mad about my last Markiplier video, and that's because, you know, like I said, I just didn't want to talk about him anymore, so I just kind of threw a video out. But it's funny because someone in my Discord was showing me a video of his and they were saying, oh my God, the way he's commenting on the Black Lives Matter stuff is this exactly what you were pointing out. Like, it's the stuff that he always does. Because he just basically said racism is bad. And it's like, racists also say racism is bad, Markiplier. Like, they do it all the time. Like, I very rarely will hear a racist, like even KKK members, like dead serious, will avoid saying things like black people are inferior. They avoid this language these days. That's modern stuff. It's just, even Trump said Mexicans are criminals and rapists, but I assume some of them are good people. I assume some of them are. I don't know. You know, stuff like that. Like, people are hiding this stuff a lot more now. So to hear him say something like that, I mean, the fact that Logan Paul did a better take on Black Lives than Markiplier should show people that he's not the kind of person that he displays, you know? So that's my little tangent that I wanted to cut in. There's a lot of changes that are being made, and you really got to pay attention to what people are saying, because this is something that's been a big deal for a long time, and people weren't doing anything about it. We still have states to this day that have laws that make slavery okay. It's just, you know, the Fed overrides the state law, but those laws shouldn't even be there. Why are they there? We still have states that are known for being extremely racist, you know? So it's just like, we have all these racist statues up, and, you know, all these slave owners on our money and all this stuff. Like, when you're not on the receiving end of all of it, it's so easy for you to shame people and point the finger and tell people, you know, you're just angry for no reason. And it's like, you're not dealing with any of this, and you're not even taking the time to understand the people who are going through it. So that's why I have no sympathy for you, because what are you dealing with? What are you going through? You're in this video, he's literally bragging about the fact that we have all these services at a whim. We don't have to do anything, and stuff just comes to us. We just get food, and we get stuff shipped to us on the mail, and it sounds so awful. Like, it's like, do you not realize that people are doing slave labor to give you the things that you're getting? What are you talking about? It's so selfish and apathetic and just literally heartless. So that's why I made this video. And yeah, this was just a little tangent because I forgot to mention the good that came out of all this, because, you know, I was just responding to everything he was saying. But yeah, so anyway, I'll get back to whatever I was saying in the video now. Just so that you all know, my Twitter, I pretty much just used to complain about, like, I just made this Twitter, but you're just going to see a bunch of political posts because that's all I ever do on it. Anyway, so this was a peaceful protest that was recent, where somebody put red paint on these hands outside of a police building saying you have blood on your hands. That was peaceful. They didn't burn down the police building. Like, you just keep acting like black people are only wrecking stuff up randomly for no reason, no motivation, nothing. So here is a black man who's speaking extremely calmly, unlike the images this YouTuber wants to keep showing. And he makes the point very clear of why people are angry and fed up. It's very short, but it just speaks volumes of why people are tired.
You wanted me to reconcile myself to. I was born here almost 60 years ago. I'm not going to live another 60 years. You always told me it takes time. It's taken my father's time, my mother's time, my uncle's time, my brother's and my sister's time, my nieces and my nephew's time. How much time do you want for your progress?
And he said that very calmly. And it's like, one of my friends, when I showed it to her, she was like, you want to know why he had to say it so calmly? She was like, because if he was white, you know, he could have been angry about it and people would respect him for it. But since he's black, he has to explain it calmly, or else people won't care about his opinion. And I was telling her that's so funny, because I shared a video on Twitter of a white man saying the exact same thing, where this white guy, he says it, but he's yelling and stuff because it is a form of privilege that he doesn't even understand. Like, if he was black and he was doing that, nobody would want to listen to him. They would do what this YouTuber is doing and acting like he's just acting on emotion. But when this guy does it, everyone can tell that he's fed up with this system and he's angry, so he's venting. So he just said that in the, like, angriest way possible. He's spitting, you know, but he's, like, saying the same thing. And it's not because he's emotional that dictates whether or not he's making sense. What he's saying just makes sense. It doesn't matter how he relays the information. So when you just set up a straw man and tell people, this is what your argument is, it's wrong, I don't care what else you say it is, you can't say it's anything else because it's invalid because I say so, and if you disagree with me, you have the argument that I'm saying is valid, which is also invalid, and if you do that, then you're intellectually dishonest. Like, of course you can just dictate the conversation and be right at the end of the day if that's how you're going to do it, but only in your own world, not in reality.
Replace those systems with something else, something better, or at least something good enough, at the very least, to avoid the catastrophe of having nothing at all. That integral component was not necessary for America as it was born, because in truth, America was not born from any ashes. It merely shook off the yoke of tyrannical control, fully realizing the systems it already had. The 2020 riots are not producing any form of replacement. They are not constructing something to supplement what is being destroyed.
He's just repeating himself again, like that's all he's doing right now.
Destroyed actively, or what they seek to tear down. They are simply devastating systems that are necessary for hundreds of thousands of people, even millions, possibly more, in their everyday life. There should be no calls for revolution if this is truly what revolution means. Earlier today, I saw a post about how mainstream media might have used footage from the movie World War Z as if it were America on their broadcast, and I exclaimed in my own tweet about how if that's true, it's absurd and people should be fired. Within minutes, it became clear that this was a falsification. Someone had manipulated the footage, overlaid the MSN news banner, and posted it to trick the frenzied masses. I immediately posted 2 clarifications down below, within, I believe, 3 minutes of the tweet going live. I thought nothing more of it. A few people had said thanks for the follow-up or something similar, and I moved to this video itself, working on the script. A few hours later, I returned to find that the post had 6,000 likes and climbing, 1,000 or 2 retweets, I don't remember exactly, most of which thought the image was real, having not read my clarification, and my inbox inundated with absolute garbage, raging at me for promoting fake news.
And the fact that he keeps speaking, and you know it's the saddest thing in the world? When people speak in an overeducated way and they still are saying retarded shit, which typically is the case. When people speak in an overeducated manner, it's because they're trying to cover up bullshit. That's why people hate politicians. When they use the overeducated language, it's because they're just trying to cover up bullshit. But people aren't retarded. Like, you don't have to say these pretentious words. You just are to try to make yourself seem smarter than you are. Inundated. Like, come on. And the funny thing is, like, it's so funny, like, these days I've been on this mission. Whenever I think someone's saying something that's overeducated, I'll go to Google define, and you can, like, see how old the word is. And as you can see, like, these are the type of words I'm talking about where they're, like, heavily used in the 1800s. And then they go down. Now, some are worse than others. Like, sometimes people be using words that no one's using now. Like, it's like this low. But my whole point is, this is typically not all words that have this pattern are like overeducated words. But like, he keeps using words like that, like words that are heavily used from a long time ago and not now, to express his dumb opinions because he wants to make himself seem smarter than he actually is. So he speaks in a calm tone. He is pretentious about everything. Like, the way that he wants to describe things is like, you know, you're reading a book where he's like, running water, natural water, the resources are necessary. It's like, we get it. You're saying that it's important, but just because you repeat it over and over again doesn't mean that you're right. Like, can you find something else to say? Can you, like, actually give reasons for why you feel the way that you do? But for people to try to disagree with you, they're just wrong.
It is so easy to play on the hysteria. I did it accidentally, and
that's not the same situation. Like, you see how at the beginning of the video he was saying, when you talk about stuff from the past, that's unrelated to now. How the fuck was this related? I accidentally played on hysteria. So, I mean, I'm telling you, people with these protests are just playing on hysteria. That's not related at all. You just wiped all context out of the argument to make that fucking juxtaposition, and it doesn't fucking work. So, it's just so fucking annoying how you get to dictate when you can talk about past events or separate events and when you can't. And whenever you don't want people to, it's unrelated. But when you want to, it is. But you know, your video is really structured, right?
And with 15 minutes of Photoshop or some SEO research and the right hashtags, anyone out there can and is actively doing it time and time again.
That doesn't mean that they're doing it with this situation.
We cannot view this to be the new normal. Hyperbole on this scale. Anarchy.
It's not hyperbole. It's what's actually fucking happening. The very foundation is corrupted and it needs to be rebuilt, you fucking asshole. Like, seriously, you just ignored every single fact that you possibly could because you're too fucking stubborn to change your mind. And you don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. You ignored so much factual shit and historical shit just to say that violent protests are wrong and revolution is wrong in the sense of how America's currently trying to do it just because you say so.
Is what it truly is. Has no basis in reality. And
has no basis in reality because I say so.
Any parallel drawn between the Revolutionary War and modern rioting, or as demented as that comparison is, this modern revolution, must be rightfully and critically dismantled.
He just said that it's a demented comparison to compare the fucking slave trade, because that's what it is, even though he keeps leaving that the fuck out. Why the fuck would people keep trying to fucking compare how this country was settled if they weren't trying to talk about slavery, asshole, and genocide? And then you say you can't fucking compare that to now, and it should.
As nothing more than the rantings of those with a modern revolution must be rightfully and critically dismantled.
Must be rightfully and critically dismantled. Bitch, you didn't critically dismantle a goddamn thing in this whole fucking video. You said a bunch of bullshit. You didn't actually give reasons for your opinions. You just keep saying why people can't disagree with you like a little bitch. Jesus Christ. And he's like, it should be heavily criticized. It's demented for you to think something else. I'm going to keep antagonizing your position. And if you get offended by it, I'm just going to shame you for it. Bitch, you're fucking offensive to reality. Like if reality had a fucking voice and a conscious mind, it would probably spit on you.
As nothing more than the rantings of those with a total and fundamental.
And if reality was a god, you'd be using its name in vain. Because you keep saying what is and isn't reality, and you're not living in reality, you fucking idiot.
Lack of understanding when it comes to history, economics, infrastructure, and the necessity for a free and civil society to maintain certain systems at the very least. Else it risks widespread death, destruction, poverty.
Absolutist statements. It's either all this thing or all that thing. There's no context or nuance in between. I'm an intellectual.
Starvation, and so much more. That's it though. America has a deceptive relationship with the word revolution.
Because I say so.
It can mean something good. It can represent positive change, but it can also be used all too often as a rallying cry with no rhyme or reason by individuals with no...
And that's the case because I say so. If there's any violence, it's just used by individuals. I wasn't saying black people, no. At no point was I talking about black people. There's just people who are using it violently and senselessly, in my opinion. I won't say who, how, or why. But it's not the cops, so I wonder who else it could be.
No desire to understand the ramifications of their own actions.
They have no desire to understand the ramifications of their own actions. Like, seriously? You really think they didn't consider it? Really? Like, he can't comprehend why people are so fed up, so he's like, they're just going crazy.
Merely using it to capitalize on and participate in the addictive drug of adrenaline-fueled mob rage.
Using it to capitalize on and participate in the addictive adrenaline drug of mob rage? No, that's projection. And I say that's projection because he literally said that he joined a bunch of people. He saw people who had this whole celebration, you know, with the Boston Marathon, and he said it was a rush. He said it was adrenaline. You see how he's projecting his own disgusting behavior onto everyone else? He gets adrenaline from that type of stuff. He's like, it's exciting, you know? So he's like, that must be the only reason why people do this type of stuff. Adrenaline. Addiction.
It's wrong, and it needs to end. Links down below to support. Okay.
It's wrong. I won't say why. It's just wrong, and it needs to end. Links below for all the retarded bullshit that I said. Fuck you. So that's basically the whole video. I don't know how I'm gonna like cut this up or put it up. And it's like, I'm still debating whether or not I'm gonna censor it. So anyway, I just wanted to say at the very end of this that I could very well just censor everything like I normally do. I just don't feel like it because I played that white guy cussing a lot. I fucking said a lot of shit. I really don't care if the video gets shared around. Like, I believe in what the fuck I have to say, and, you know, I don't want to distort what I have to say that much. Because censoring out that guy is going to be a project within itself, and then also with me. And I just don't feel like it. I think this video is like an hour. So anyway, that's all I have to say. Thanks for watching. This guy doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about, and he represents way too many people in this country, which is pathetic and disgusting and stupid and retarded and all those things and everything above. So anyway, it's just, this is the type of stuff that makes me hate humanity. So I got nothing else to say. So I'll see y'all next time.